Hello and welcome to Melissa's Growth Studio. I am Melissa and I'm really happy to be here today. Today I am going to talk about something that I've been creating over the holiday period called the Busy Professional Habit Template. And the idea behind this template is to build yourself sustainable routines to feel physically and emotionally better, even with a packed schedule. This year, I have made so much progress with my mental and physical health. I am working out consistently, I am eating well, I'm also doing things like saving consistently and other things. And these are really down to the habits that I've created this year. I am so passionate about this that I really wanted to create something to help other people. So this is where the Busy Professional Habit Template has been created from. So I'm just going to go over this template and talk about a few things. So first of all, what is a habit? A habit is a usual way of behaving, something that a person does often in a regular and repeated manner. So an example could be a kind of morning habit when you open up the curtains, you go and brush your teeth, you go downstairs for a cup of coffee, and so on. And there's all sorts of different types of habits that you can create. Things around like time and focus, your mental well-being, health and energy, and your kind of personal and relationships. And why are habits so important then? And the reason why habits are so important is that they take up a significant portion of your day. So roughly 40 to 60% of your day will run on autopilot, driven by habits and automatic behaviours. So as I spoke about before, like that morning routine, showering, getting dressed, making coffee, perhaps you're commuting, getting a train, getting a car, walking to the bus, whatever that may be. A common one is scrolling on phones. Maybe when you first wake up, you look at your phone and start scrolling through social media. Let me know if that one resonates. I've certainly been there. Or kind of when you watch TV, check emails, or eating meals and cooking. So why do we go on autopilot, or like why do we have these habits? And it's the way of the brain saving mental energy. So autopilot allows your brain to conserve energy by running familiar sequences without constant thought. So habit formation. This is all about repetitive actions that become deeply ingrained patterns, making them easy to perform without focus. Some habits are good for you and others may not be so good. So a habit that may be good for you is brushing your teeth first thing in the morning, whereas maybe drinking 2-3 cups of tea or coffee at the beginning of the day, or even scrolling social media when you first wake up, maybe they're not so good habits for you personally. It really depends on you and and what you see as a good and a bad habit. There's no complete list for that, in my opinion. So I want to talk about one. So, for example, imagine there's a goal that you want to drink more water. So you have that goal in the mind, and then what I want you to think about is why do you want to have that goal? And that might be, like what do you want this habit to improve in your life? So an example could be like more energy throughout the day. And then after you've answered that question, why, I want you to create one small habit and make it so easy to do. So what is the smallest version of this habit you can do consistently? So an example could be drink 1 glass of water before my morning coffee. And then you can track it. So how can you track this in under 10 seconds? So sometimes what I do is do a tick on a calendar to track daily, or I do an end of week reflection to think about how I did throughout the week. And the idea is not to be perfect when you start, it's to just do it more often do the habit more often than when you don't. So, for example, you drink that glass of water 4 out of 7 times in the week, bang on. Then the next week you might do it more consistently, 5 out of 7. So it's just creating those regular good habits. And then over time, what you find is that it naturally ingrains in your automatic habits, and you drink that glass of water before your morning coffee without even thinking about it. In terms of a weekly reflection, you can think about what worked well this week, what felt hard, what's one small adjustment you can make for next week. And then as you go forward, drinking a glass of water before your morning coffee was the first step. And now you're going to drink a glass of water before your lunch. And then you're going to continue to upgrade these habits little bit by little. So what I'm calling this is the stick method. So you're going to start small, you're going to trigger it by routine, you're going to integrate it into your life. It's going to be compassion based. So you're going to be really kind to yourself. When you don't do it, that is okay. The next day, you're just going to jump on and do it and complete the habits. And then you're just going to keep the habit really simple. So with this, you can apply it to anything that you do. So a lot of people talk about sort of physical health, that they want to exercise a little bit more. So what is the smallest thing that you can do? So maybe that could be, you could create something like, oh, I'm going to do 5 squats just before I have my lunch, or I'm going to go for a walk for 5 minutes in my lunch break, something like that, just to keep your body moving in the day. And then you can do the same method again and then upgrade your habit as you go, but just something that's really simple and triggered by your routine. So yeah, I hope this professional habit template helps other people. This method I am currently used to help me integrate my meditation into my mornings. I was doing meditation consistently, but then kind of my morning routine changed a little bit and I stopped doing my meditation. So the simplest habit I am personally taking is that after my breakfast, I take 5 deep breaths, and I use the Headspace app for this. And then over time, what my plan is to do actually one of the guided meditations on that. And yeah, I find this has really helped me this year. I am in sort of the best physical, mental shape I've ever been, and it's really going from creating those small habits to really ingraining those into my routines, and then them being automatic. So yeah, if you want any help with this, then please do reach out to me. I'm happy to have more conversations about this. And if you'd like to show your appreciation, if I get to help you, get your results that you want out of your goal, then I do a kind of pay what you can method through Ko-Fi or buy me a coffee. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I hope this has been really useful.